Xavier, what makes it so hard to play in the pit? Why is that such a tough environment?
Well, first, they have a great team. That's what it starts with. And, their fans are unbelievable fans. They come out and support them each and every game. So that's why I think it makes it tough to play there. It's a great environment, and we love playing there.
Skylar, you'd spoken the other night about how much you have this circled on your calendar. Do you think that you kind of put a little extra emphasis on this game because of what happened last year?
Sort of, yeah. Our last two games, we lost to them. So it's a game that I'm looking forward to. I'm not going to pump it up too much or I lose focus. So I will treat it like every other game, but I know it's going to be a good one.
Xavier, do you feel like this team is deeper than Aztecs teams in the past few years have been in terms of just how much talent you have on the bench and how frequently they have helped to spark games?
Yeah, I think so. We talked about that at the beginning of the year. DP's been great off the bench all year. Strigley, James Johnson comes in, Dakari, DL, AQ. All those guys have helped us out. I'm just happy they're on the team, and it does help when you have a lot of depth. Especially later on this year, guys get tired and things like that, so it has helped.
Is that a different dynamic than last year when, it seemed like you had just a smaller list of guys that had most of the playing time?
Yeah, it's different than last year. We only played like 7 or 8 guys last year, and, we're much deeper this year. So I think that's been helping us this year a lot.
Polee, Coach Dutch was talking about how this year they've almost tried to bring in the bench guys earlier in the season to get you guys some experience. I guess talk about how that's been for you and how that's been helpful.
I think it's been very helpful because now that we're in the later part of the season, people get tired, they get hurt. So, the bench, we just try and come off the bench and bring a lot of energy. And also, it's harder to scout when you have multiple people that can come off the bench and still come in and contribute.
Dwayne, Coach Dutcher kind of spoke about how playing New Mexico, a team of this caliber, this late in the season, playing them twice, you guys already kind of know what you're going to do. How this is it's a better challenge, I guess, at this point in the season. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think we had some pretty tough, challenging games. And we've had some games where we've been, on point. So I think, those have been good tests for New Mexico, playing them twice.
I guess what is the biggest challenge that this team presents? Just their big men and how good they are in terms of that matchup for you guys?
Yeah, I think it's a real good team, and I think they match up well with us. They have some good big men and some good guards. So overall, I think it's just a pretty good matchup all around.
Did you watch any of that game last night against Nevada at all? Did you see that?
I seen a little bit of it. I watched, most of the second half. UNLV kind of came back, and then New Mexico, pulled it away. Kendall had a great game, and Bearstow.
Any surprises or things that you see out of that you weren't expecting, or they are what they are?
No, I wasn't surprised at anything. We've been playing them for the last 3 or 4 years. Kendall, Bearstow, Kirk, and all those guys, Greenwood. So it was no surprise. So we just got to come out and be ready for Saturday.
Xavier, given that this is probably your biggest test since Kansas, heading into the later part of the season, do you kind of look at this as a challenge to see where you guys are at heading into the Mountain West tournament and into the NCAA tournament?
A little bit, but our league is tough. Every team is a good team. But New Mexico, they're right behind us right now in second place. It's just going to be a great game, in a fun atmosphere. But it is a challenge. We're a rival team. I'm sure they don't like us. It's always been like that. But we have much respect for them. I'm sure they have respect for us. So it's going to be fun.
Wait, just talk a little bit about your role as the depth, the guy coming off the bench, and adding the extra spark when needed. What do you like about that?
It just gives me a chance to see the flow of the game, how the game's going, who's rolling on the team, who's not. And I just kind of try and come off the bench and bring as much energy as I can. So I take pride in that role. It's not like people might think like, oh, coming off the bench is something that's kind of frowned upon, but I take great pride in that role and bringing a lot of energy coming off the bench.
Game changer.
Yeah, absolutely.